With funding from the Northern Shire, the town's Avon Valley Environmental Society, also known as AVES, commenced a special project to research the possibility of Rakali living in the northern riparian zone. There was anecdotal evidence that Rakali did live in Northern, but it appeared to be in very small numbers. A secondary reason for the studying of the Australian Otter or water rat is that it is a top feeder on the local riparian food chain, and as such, the existence of a Rakali population implies that the local river system is in good health. Using wildlife cameras placed in potential Rakali habitats, think burrows along the river's edge surrounded by reeds, fallen logs, or next to water. The AVES team has been researching Rakali for just over 2 years to date via trail camera footage and eyewitness reports. We have found positive evidence of a few Rakali amongst the northern river system. However, they remain elusive and camera shy as ever. Rakali, formerly known as the water rat, and the scientific name is the Hydromus chrysogaster, which translates to the golden-bellied water mouse. The name was changed to the indigenous name Rakali in the hope to avoid any negative connotations that came from being called a rat, which are generally considered a pest. Commenced in 2016, Australia celebrates the annual Rakali Awareness Day on the 18th of February. The Rakali is one of Australia's only 2 amphibious mammals, the platypus being the other, and the only freshwater mammal in Western Australia. Being one of Australia's largest rodents makes it an important species in Australia's aquatic ecosystems. In Northern, it is considered as being one of the native animals at the top of the riparian zone ecosystem. Rakali are often solitary animals. If they live in a denser population, the males are territorial and will fight. These elusive marsupials are usually found near permanent water bodies. They prefer their fresh water but can tolerate it being brackish, as is mostly the case here in Northern. Brackish means it's full of salt. They live in burrows on the edges of rivers and lakes and estuaries and protected coastal beaches and islands. Being a semi-aquatic animal means that they can hide from terrestrial predators in the waterways as well as on the land. They are mostly active between dusk and dawn, but can sometimes be seen scavenging during the day. Their diet includes fish, aquatic insects, crayfish, crabs, mussels, clams, aquatic plants, and even frogs. Turtles, birds, and bird eggs. They catch their meal underwater and bring it onto the land to consume it. They take their food to the flat surfaces, such as logs or rocks or sheltered areas on the riverbank to eat it. Returning to these sites for each meal, having consumed their meal, they leave behind the shells or bones, which are called middens. How to identify a Rakali? They are quite large, about the size of a cat, growing to around 35 centimetres from nose to rump. Its tail being slightly shorter than its body length. Their colour varies from black to grey to brown, with a lighter belly, which is white to yellow-orange. They've got small ears that fold flat against their head while swimming, making it streamlined. A blunt muzzle or snout with long whiskers, and its nostrils are set high on its head. Thick water-repellent fur, which helps them keep a constant temperature while in the water and quick to dry while on land. Partly webbed hind feet for efficient paddling. Its tail is thick and muscular to act like a rudder while swimming. The end of the tail has a white tip, which is arguably its most distinguishing feature. Rakalis are often hunted by introduced animals such as cats and foxes, as well as some native birds of prey. Another factor is the human element, particularly in regards to causing habitat degradation and loss. In the past, they were hunted for their fur, back when this was still fashionable. The hunting caused the decline of much of Western Australia's Rakali population, which is why it is now classified as being a priority for, i.e. either rare, near threatened, or in need of monitoring. These factors can be magnified by the fact that Rakalis only have a relatively short lifespan of just 2 to 3 years, with small annual litter sizes of only 2 to 4 pups. These litters are between spring and summer in the height of the drought season. So you can only imagine the effect on a local population's survival when there are 2 to 3 years of consecutive droughts. Fun facts. So what is the collective noun for a group of Rakali? Well, the verdict is still out on that. Some people like the rodent species name of a mischief of Rakali, while others believe since it has so many similarities with an otter, it should be called a raft of Rakali. A third view is to name it after a similar Australian animal, platypus, which is known as a paddle of platypi. Call it a ratatouille of Rakali. Think of some cool name.